Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniatures. So I got a nice little surprise in the mail today from Yedharo Models, the Savage Orc Warband. Now I know for a fact that I got these two models, and I think I got a unit of their regular orcs. Those are not orcs, those are goblins. I think I got these guys. And I got their special lion headed guy as well. I did not get these fancy ones over here. What's it say here? Not suitable for children. Okay, we know that. There we go. Whee! Okay. So, what do we got in here? Okay, that's one of the champions. That's the male champion, because he's got the big crazy cloak, and there's no hair on the head. This looks to be the female champion. Maybe this is the lion head. Yeah, okay, you can see the lion head right there. And then this must be the actual unit. Okay, so inside the bag we've got just about all 40mm bases and a random 30mm base for one model. I have no idea who gets the 30. Let's find out. I really liked these guys. Yedharo or GCT, no, not GCT, GT Studios. They did some Kickstarters in the past for dwarves as well as orcs, and I really liked the orc models, and I actually ended up painting them as trolls, and a local player liked them so much that he threw wads of money to purchase them, and I have sadly missed them since, but it helped fund this channel, so I cannot complain. And the detail, just look at the like ritual scarring on this dude. He is some serious business. And coincidentally, they are offering up a lot of STL files for these. If you have a really top-end printer, you might be curious about those as well. Big, nasty-looking blades. These are very savage, very primal-looking orcs, if you're into that kind of thing. I like the fact that they're not all comical. I'm not even sure where those go. I think they go on his shoulders or something like that. That's the male one. I'm going to set him over here so I don't confuse his parts. This looks to be, what do I call him, a lion champion or something? I don't know. But he is literally wearing a lion pelt on his head because why not? How cool is that? He doesn't seem as big. He's big, but not as big. He's got his rocked pose on, like that, I believe. And then he's got these tonfa-like blades that are all rusty, and that's the wrong side of the body. But yeah, he's got two of those. Need to clean out that joint. There's the other one. He's got a fancy cape, too. I think. Maybe not. Where does that go? I do not know. Okay, right there. Here we go. We figured it out. Okay. That's pretty cool, though. Maybe you are the mystery 30mm base. Or it might be the female champion, unless there's a random goblin thrown in here somewhere. I don't know. Okay, so our female champion, much like the male one, very similar lower bodies. Obviously, there is some dimorphism going on here. You can see they're kind of reversed, but it's okay. Gotta have equal representation. Unlike her buddy, she actually does have some hair there on her head. But she's got that ritual scarring pattern thing going on all over as well. I'm not sure how that's going to attach. Oh, that's right. She's got the lion head on her shoulder. That's pretty cool. Similar weapons. Obviously more appropriately sized for her. I think that's just a bit of flash. I'm going to guess... I don't know. Alright, I think she's the one who's supposed to go in that base. I could be wrong. Let's take a look at the Savage Orc unit. It's funny because usually I don't care for savage orcs, but these guys just look so wild and brutal. I could not pass them up. I mean, they're all on 40mm bases, so I guess they'd be a great stand-in for Iron Jaws if you wanted. Again, just scarred beyond belief here. No shoes, thankfully. Big, nasty-looking axes. I don't know if they're supposed to be stone or metal. I do like that every model is individually bagged after playing with Grebo's Progol team and having to sort all those parts out. That was not fun. Great looking models, but not fun to sort. Okay. Must look like you're a football player or something. Maybe supposed to be like hunched over like that. You've got a gauntlet made out of a animal skull. How orky of you. And an axe. And a random piece of flash. Okay. It's 5 guys to the unit. It's just funny because I was painting Kev Adams greenskins before this, and this is like so different. We got another lion-headed guy. This guy was actually part of the unit. He's not as cool as our Tonfa-wielding friend, but that's okay. Nice size cleavers. And a nice tactical rock for him to assert his orcishness on. Alright. I thought somebody, I was going to say, somebody in this was supposed to have a polearm. And it's, no, maybe not. Polearm exactly is so much as a great weapon. Really nice sculpts. The resin itself is kind of soft, kind of powdery texture to it. I need to clean it, but that goes without saying. You should clean all your resin. Big honking gauntlets. I like that. But then again, I like Privateer's aesthetic, so what do I know, right? The big, huge blade. And it smells like yakiniku in my house, so that is a good sign that dinner will be ready soon. Ooh, yeah. Interesting dreadlocks on his head. What kind of weapons you got? More cleavers. No swords, but that probably is not that surprising considering how savage these guys are supposed to be. I'm not sure if these are supposed to be teeth or just other bits of metal or stone. I don't know. If you guys have any suggestions on how I should paint it, by all means, let me know. That's the other thing. I am totally unsure how I am going to paint their skin. I kind of dig the style that they've got going on with the artwork. And I know it's just a render. I know it's far away. But that kind of orangish brown, it kind of looks cool. I don't know. So, I'm open to suggestions. What do you guys think? Should I just stick to the typical greens or should I go with something funky? Give me a sec. I'm going to get these guys built and we will see just how big and impressive they are. Alright guys, check it out. Got our savage orcs all put together here. Let us take a look first at the actual infantry models. So we're just going to set the actual unit here. These are the guys that are all on 40mm bases. And you can see they do a good job of definitely filling that base. They're all kind of hunched over though, so they're not super tall or gigantic. Well, they are pretty gigantic. Construction-wise, no real issues. I did have to kind of cut away at a lot of the connections. There's definitely some gaps that could just be my models, but you know, that is something you're going to have to deal with for now and then when you work with resin, so not a big deal. And then we have our lion-maned leader guy here, who is conveniently got his feet on 2 different rocks, because why not? So definitely a good sense of presence, and I'm having a hard time just fitting them even on the screen as is. So there you go. How do they stack up compared to other orc models? Okay, well, they're big. There's my old Heartbreaker one. I can't stand the modern, well, they're not really modern, but the typical orc boys or the Ard boys or, oh, you know what? Why are we showing these things? Let me show you something better. Okay, and I have like I think actually the Blood Bowl orcs are a pretty good size. A Pathfinder orc, a Peculiar Companions orc. Here. Iron Jaws, I think, would be a good close proximity in terms of size. So you can see there, they definitely, I think, would fit in size-wise. If you were going to mix and match units, if you wanted to use these guys as proxies for Iron Jaws, I think that would totally work. Obviously, they're just rough and tough enough that they don't need to bother with all the big pieces of scrap metal all over them. But they are very nicely sculpted models. So that's the actual orc unit, at least the male one. I don't have the female ones. If Yedharo wants to send me some, I'll be more than happy to show them off. And then let's take a look at the actual hero units. So here is our lion main champion friend. I don't like his pose with this back leg. It does give him stability, and he is pretty stable that way. So I can't really complain too much there. And he is definitely a lot bigger and more heroic than the regular basic guys. And then there are the champions, and I'm assuming that the female champion is going to go on the 30mm base. I really don't know why. I'm probably just going to put her on a 40 as well. She doesn't seem to have a huge difference in terms of, you know, fitting well on the 40 or the 30, so I'm not going to be bothered with it. Let's talk about the female champion for a sec. So for whatever reason, as we struggle to get her into focus here, maybe if we zoom it in. Okay. There was an extra contact point on her cape that didn't go anywhere. And as you can see, I feel like the lion head is way too high, but that's where the actual cape or the cloak or whatever you want to call it actually lines up. Maybe I did it wrong, I don't know. Looking at Yedharo's pictures, it looks like that's where it's supposed to be because the eyes of the lion were almost level with the champion herself. And I just feel like it's a little off, and there's like a little bit of a gap in there. You can see I feel like it really should be sitting lower. I don't know if I want to try to disassemble her already and give it a try again, because otherwise she's a really cool looking model. It's really impressive. She is a bit shorter than the males. Just a little bit, else when the male one is on the screen. Obviously he's got a lion head on as well. But the highlight of the set for me, honestly, was the male champion. There we go. Who is just a big, bad dude, and I love all the horns strapped to him. He was a lot easier to put together. I was just basically glue the legs and the multitude of horns and the arms, and he's done. It wasn't as irritating trying to get that lion head on the female version. Now, this guy is really big. If the others are big, he's even bigger. Grabbing an iron jaw. Where'd I put you? I mean, even they're kind of small compared to him. My first thought was, if you're going to go, you could go all the way. And I think he gives the Mega Boss a pretty good run for his money. Heck, throw him on a 60mm base. He does a pretty decent job of filling it in, I'd say. So, really, with a guy like this, and the crazy thing is, Yedharo actually makes a even larger 75mm version one, so if you're really into the painting aspect of it, I mean, at that point, he's like a troll or a giant or an ogre. You could use him for something even more crazy and spectacular. Of course, in that case, the skulls would probably be out of scale, but just like all the crazy ritual scarring, it's a really cool looking model, and he's just got some big, nasty weapons. I am eagerly looking forward to painting him. Much more so even than the lion-headed dudes. Much more so than even the regular basic orcs. But I'm just torn as to what kind of skin tone I want to go. Do I want to keep it green like all my other orcs? I mean, at least then there'd be some consistency, or do I just want to, you know, go off the deep end? I keep thinking like a yellowish orange, kind of like what I've done with a lot of my trolls or Scorn or stuff like that. It just, I don't know. I can't make up my mind. I am absolutely welcome to suggestions, so if you guys got any, by all means, please share them, because I am quite curious. And if you're curious as well, do take a look. Yedharo is actually offering up a bunch of their STL files if you have access to a 3D printer, and hopefully mine will be working once more. And they have both the Orcs, not these Orcs specifically. I know they did offer up the STL files for these guys in the past, but they should be opening up a My Mini Factory or Gumroad or one of those type stores in the near future as well. They also have a Patreon available, so if you want to take a look at that, that's something that they have with some new sculpts in there as well, and I think they were looking for suggestions on what to do next. At the moment, it's mostly Orcs and Dwarves. That's what they've done Kickstarters for, and they are really quite nice models. So do take a look if you're interested. With that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures. Saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.